hello everybody, so welcome to my channel. So now we'll start our project here. So this is the form we are going to create now first. Okay, so I have logged in my Salesforce application. So if you search, so let's navigate to home, and if you search here by flow, you can get the flow information. So in under process automation, you can see flow is available here. So if you click here, so it will navigate to this page. Okay, so let's create the flow first. So there is an option new flow. Let's create it. So we have already mentioned, like, we have two types of flows: screen flow and auto launch flow. So first we will see how screen flow work. Okay, how we can use screen flow to capture the information from the user through multiple screens. Okay, so just select screen and click create. So once I'm creating the flow, so there are two part is available here. You can see here, this is the toolbox and this is the design part. You can see in the toolbox part, you can see multiple elements are there which are going to use now, and we have a manager tab in the toolbox, elements and manager tab. So in the manager tab, there we have resource. This resource is nothing but the variable, whatever the variable we are creating, and that variable we are going to use in our flow, that will be available in the resource part. Okay, and element part, all the input component, output component, every component that we are going to use, that is available here. You can apply logic, you can use create data, update data, you can fetch the data, or you can delete the data. So everything we can do using our flow builder. So that option is available here. So you can drag and drop, and just you have to use that. Okay, so let's start our project. So here, if you see here, there is a form. Okay, in my form I have first name, last name and account information. So let's start. So first drag and drop one screen. So this is a screen where I have to provide the screen properties here. So let's give some label here. Capture contact information. Okay, so you can give some description in your form. Okay, so if you see here configure frame, so this is the screen where you can configure the frame. So you can see here the header is part is available here, and at the end you can see the footer part is available here. So you can customize everything. So if you click here, so that means I am unchecking the header part. Okay, so in the footer part you have multiple buttons. You can see here pause, previous, finish buttons are available here. So you can customize that as well. So let's say I do not want to see the pause button here, so just uncheck the pause here, and it will be automatically removed here. Okay, so my first form is ready. Okay, so now what we are going to do, I want to add some input component, right? First name, last name and account. Okay, so before starting that, so let's say, so here what we are going to do, we want to create a contact, right? So whenever I am going to contact, I have to store the value. So whenever user providing the information for the first name and last name or account, that information I want to capture first, otherwise I will not be able to create the contact, right? So what we are going to do here, so let's done this, and for before that, what we are going to we are going to create a resource. What resource we are going to do here, so let's open Notepad. So in Apex class, normally what we do, so whenever we are going to create, so normally what we will do, we will do like that: contact my contact record, is equal to new contact, right? And after that, and if I am creating this, what happen? So my contact record will be created, and in my contact record what options will available? ID will be there, first name will be there, last name will be there, account ID will be there, and other information will be available here, right? So similarly, what I am doing here, first I am create a variable of contact record, okay, so that in my contact record, whenever user providing input, that input information, that information like first name, last name, account ID, I can capture that information, right? So let's create first, okay. So I will go to manager, click new resource, click variable, okay, give some API name. So just I'm selecting my contact record, and data type, what data type? So if you see here, the data type is contact, okay. So I will select contact. So data type is basically a record data type, okay. So after that we will select the object name, okay. So if you see here, the object information is available here. So what type of contact I am going to create? So I will use contact object. That means I am creating a record, or I am creating a variable of contact type, okay, and it will store the contact record, okay. So I have selected data type record, and I will select here the object name is contact, okay, contact. So availability outside the flow. So whenever you are using availability outside the flow, do you want to use this flow outside? Yes, I want to use this variable outside as well, okay. So I will make it output, available for output, so that I can use this variable in other form as well, okay. Let's done this. So let's move again in our form. So in my form, what till now what we have done, we have just created the form, okay, just we have created the form. So we have not added any input component here, okay. So now we'll add the component, first name, last name, and account. Let's see how we can add those component here. So in flow, there is a component which is called name. So name, just drag and drop here, and if you see here, name is such a component, input component is a basically custom component, where you can see, if you see in the right side, you can see that information, defined information for the name component. If you see here, field to display, one option is available here. So basically this is a customized input component, okay. So if I am using the name, that means I have that option to display first name, last name, middle name, salutation, everything I can display as per my requirement, okay. I do not need to use first name separately, last name separately, multiple input text, okay. So if you move your cursor here, you can see what information we can capture in my form. So in my form, I can capture first name, last name, informal name, suffix, salutation, everything we can capture. So in my form, what I have seen, in my form only first name and last name I want to capture here. So field to display first name and last name is available here already, so by default. And if you want to add middle name, so just give comma and provide the API name, middle name, okay. So that field will be appear automatically here. And first, so before that, I will give one API name, so just give name, okay. So next point is that, so this is my label, okay. So name is my label here, and you can see here read only is false, okay. That means user can capture that information, user can input some information, okay. So you can see multiple options, salutation options, what options we are already available here. So you can customize that as well, just you have to add the salutation and you can use that, okay. Now So user is providing, user you will see this input box, right? So whenever user typing something here, that information I want to capture here. So how to capture that information? So if you see here, store output values to select variables. Okay, so how to store that variables? So here I have taken only the first name and last name. So I will store that value in a variable. So let's see how we can store that value in a particular variable. So if you see here, is an option. So if you see here, the store output values, so I will store the output values where for the first name I will store the output value. So just click here. So I have created already one variable, my contact record. Okay, so in my contact record I'll store first name. Okay, and similarly in my contact record I'll store last name. Okay, so what happened here? So in my contact record, whenever user typing something, that will be stored in my contact record, first name. So let's say user typing test, and last name is test. That information will be stored here. Okay, next, so my name, my first name and last name is ready. Next I have to take account. Okay, so let's do that. So if you see here, account is basically, this information is basically I am getting from another object. Okay, from which object? From account object, and this value will come in form of pick list. Okay, so as a drop down box. So if you click here, so all account will be available here. Just select the one account and you can use that account, right? So this is basically in form of pick list. So what I will do, I will just select here pick list and just drag and drop here. Okay, let's give some name, account. So what data type is? So it is a text type, right? So just select data type text. Default value, no default value, so you can select any default value as well. So we'll see how we can use the default value. So before that, so whenever user open this form, the account will be populated automatically, right? So how we can do that? So if you see here, there is an option choice. Okay, so just click here, add new resource, click here. So multiple, you can see multiple resource type is available here. So what type of value it is? So it is a record choice set. Why it is a record choice set? Because I am choosing the set from a particular record, from account record, right? So from account record we are getting the account name basically. So I will select a record choice set, give some API name. So I will give account info. Okay, so next is object. So from which object I want to populate the record? I want to populate the pick list set values. Okay, so from which object? So I want to select account object. Just type account and you will see a drop down box of the different types of objects, and just select the account. Let's select account. So multiple options are available here. So first is filter account record. So whenever I want to populate the account, right? So whenever you are populating the account, so do you want to populate all accounts, or you want to do some filter, like if account type is hot, that account only I want to capture, or some other conditions. So you can apply those conditions, or if the account is active, in that scenario only I want to capture that account. So you can that options. Okay, so if you set here, so you can see in the filter account records condition requirement. So if you see here, get account records no condition, get all account records no condition, conditions are met. If you click here, you have to apply the conditions. Okay, let's say I want to filter all accounts if the rating is hot. Okay, just select rating account rating equals to hot. Okay, so I want to fetch only those accounts if the rating is equal to hot, that account will be populated in my pick list choice. Okay, so you can apply multiple conditions. So if you add conditions, so you can add too many conditions in your filter condition. Next is coming the sort order. So here you can populate the account record based on some condition like ascending, descending, or not sorted. So I have selected not sorted as of now. Okay, next point is maximum number of choices. So whenever the account will be populated in the drop down box, you have that option to how many accounts you want to populate here. Okay, so you can apply some condition like I want to see only 10 records, or I want to see only 20 records. So you can apply this condition, like if you mention 20, only 20 records will be available here. Okay, so next part is configure each choice. So here if you see in my account record, so I have selected account record, right? So account record, I have in my account record multiple fields are there. So which field I want to populate here? I want to see the account name, right? So here choice label is the API name. So which field I want to see? So just select here name or account name. Okay, so what data type is there for that name? So it is basically a text type. And next is choice value. Okay, so this is very important thing. If you see here choice label and choice value, what is that? So here user will see the account name, but in backend I want to store the account ID, right? I cannot, in my contact object, if you see the contact object, in my contact object I have first name, last name, account ID is there, not a account name. So what I will do, I will get the account ID only. Okay, so if you see here choice value, in my choice value I want to get the account ID. So in account object I will select ID. This ID basically the account ID. Okay, that means the label is name and value is ID. So if you see here, so in any pick list field we have label and we have value. Okay, so label I am storing the account name, and in value I am storing the account ID. Okay, so that account ID I can use in later point of time. So if any user is selecting a particular name, account name, in backend I am storing the account ID in that for that account name. Okay, so next is store more account field values. So here I have, so let's say user have selected one account test. Okay, so whenever user selected the account name as test, the value, so account ID will be there. Account ID is ABC, like that. Okay, 18-digit SFDC ID. Okay, so user have selected test account name, but I will store this value, right? Where I want to store this value? So I want to store this value in my contact record in account ID field. Okay, in my contact record in account ID field I'll store this account ID value. Okay, right? So here what I'll do, I'll select ID. Basically this is the account ID of account object, and I am storing where? I am storing in my contact record account ID. Okay, so that means what I am doing, in my contact record in account ID field I am storing the account ID, account SFDC ID. So that means I am storing this value here. Okay, So let's save it. So next part is that okay, so what we have till now, what we have done till now, we have added first name, we have added last name, and we have added the account. Okay, so in next session we will see how we can use the toggle option. Okay, so we will see how we can use this toggle part. Okay, thank you.